Hello, welcome to Box Office Receipts. I'm your host Tyler Callahan, and coming out of Thanksgiving and heading into the final month of 2021, there's not that much going on, but we still got the numbers to look at, and Spider-Man is looking to have a monster opening. Just a quick note, because of the holiday weekend, the numbers will be in a 5-day total format, not 3 days. Opening in first place is Disney's Encanto with 40.3 million. In second place was Ghostbusters Afterlife with 35.2 million for a total of 87.8 million. Opening in third place was House of Gucci with 21.8 million. Fourth place was Eternals with 11.4 million for a total of 150.6 million. In fifth place was Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which opened to 8.8 million. So Encanto opened, I think, to decent numbers, considering it is a new IP from Disney, and while on paper Thanksgiving is usually a good time for a family to go to the theater, I think this year was not a priority for many. My thinking on that is that most people's extended family did not show up last year due to COVID, and have now come to visit for the holiday. If that's the case, then they will likely use the time to hang out and catch up. For some, that may be to go see a movie, but it might not be most. The good news for Disney is that it can leg it out for almost 3 weeks before No Way Home comes out and dominates theaters. House of Gucci also performed, I think, slightly better than expected, and will likely be able to leg it out a bit as being the biggest drama film for a while. Ghostbusters Afterlife is holding on well and will definitely do over 100 million now, and could even finish with around 130 million. The only flop we got this weekend was Resident Evil, which was not a surprise. The reviews were bad, and depending on who you ask, it's even worse than the original films. However, with the budget at a reported 25 million, Sony won't lose much money at all. In China, not much has changed since last weekend. In first place again is Be Somebody with 21.9 million for a total of 94.4 million. In second place was The Door Lock with 6.3 million for a total of 21.6 million. Third place was Railway Heroes with 4.2 million for a total of 17.2 million. Fourth place was The Battle at Lake Changjin with 3.9 million for a total of 894 million. Lastly, in fifth place was surprisingly The Banker with 1.7 million. If that sounds familiar, that's because it is the same film that premiered on Apple TV Plus last year, starring Samuel L. Jackson and Anthony Mackie. It got approved for release in the country and also premiered at the Shanghai International Film Festival. Besides the top 5, there's not a lot of updates on Hollywood films getting release dates or new Chinese films being announced. Instead of that, we actually got news that a new Korean film has been approved and will be showing in theaters on December 3rd. It's called Oh My Grand, and it's actually kind of important because since 2016, there have been a ban on South Korean media. This included films, so this makes it the first Korean film in 5 years to get officially approved by the government to be shown. Now, will this mean others will be approved in 2022? Maybe, but only time will tell. Looking at worldwide numbers, Encanto opened in around 47 markets and made 29.3 million for a worldwide opening weekend of 69.6 million. House of Gucci made 12.8 million in 40 markets for a worldwide opening of 34.1 million. Resident Evil made 5.1 million for a worldwide opening weekend of 13.9 million. And Eternals made 10.2 million for a worldwide total of 368.4 million. No Time to Die made another 7.5 million for a total of 758 million. And Ghostbusters Afterlife made 8.6 million for a total of 115.8 million. Venom Let There Be Carnage made 8.7 million for a total of 469.6 million. And lastly, King Richard is now at 16.6 million worldwide. As for the news in Hollywood, the big one right now is Spider-Man No Way Home, as it looks like for Hollywood 2021 is going to end with a bang. Pre-sales for tickets opened up this weekend, and there was so much demand that multiple sites crashed. While we do not have official numbers yet, it looks like the question is not if this movie will hit 1 billion, it's what will it do opening weekend and just how far will it go. Right now, if pre-sales keep up opening weekend domestically, is looking at a floor of 150 million minimum, and we should not be surprised if it opens to 200 million. At this point, it's kind of up to theaters to start moving things around and add as many showings as they can. We got an update on one of the new monster movies from Universal thanks to Deadline. They have the exclusive on this, but Awkwafina has joined the cast of Renfield, but it is unclear what the role is right now. Not only that, but Nicolas Cage has also joined the film, playing the role of Dracula. Still no word on a release window or when production will start. First off, having Cage play Dracula I think is a great pick. As he is not the focus of the film and not the lead, I think Cage will not be overused, and he should excel in the role. As for Awkwafina, she is funny, but for films it depends on the script. Still a solid pick for the film. We have a new variant of COVID running wild called Omicron, and thanks to that there is a rise in cases due to the winter season. Germany has instituted a new version of a lockdown that might become popular. Basically, it is a lockdown of the unvaccinated, as the only people in Germany who can continue to go to restaurants, theaters, pubs, and social events will need proof of either vaccination or recent recovery from COVID. Now, if you have neither of those things, you can still go food shopping and get supplies, but that's about it. Right now, based on Germany's vaccine rate, this should not affect theaters too much, but it is something to think about if other countries institute something similar and they only have a small percentage of their population vaccinated. For VOD Premium, we got some news, but nothing big. First, at Disney Plus, where if you live in either Australia or New Zealand, you are getting The Last Duel. Yes, the release got filmed this year that did not have a good time at the box office. Has started to be released on PVOD around the world, but if you live in those two countries, well, you can watch it at no extra charge. No word yet on when it will be added to the service in other parts of the world. Moving on to Apple TV Plus, this one is a bit time sensitive, and if you have not listened it to the day I posted it, then it's likely too late. I'm talking about TV Plus newest film, The Tragedy of Macbeth, which is getting a one-day release in select IMAX screens across the world. Not only is it a one-day special showing, it's free, and if you watch it in the United States, a Q&A will be shown afterwards with Joel Cohen and Frances McDormand. I thought this was an interesting way to build up some hype for the film, but I guess for Apple it makes sense. This is not a film that they're looking to get as much money as they can out of it. This is clearly a film looking to get nominations and wins, so you need to build up good word of mouth. If you cannot see it in IMAX, which will be most of you, it will have a limited release in theaters on December 25th and will premiere on Apple TV Plus on January 14th. Finally, we got another piece of news for Apple TV Plus, and that is a change in one of the leads for an upcoming film. An exclusive to Deadline, the Ghosted film, which was starring Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson, is now changing. Johansson has stepped away from the film, and Ana de Armas has signed on for the role instead. Deadline says this is not due to any conflict of ideas about the film, but simply scheduling issues. I would have liked to see Evans and Johnson team up again, but de Armas is a great actress, so it still has a chance to be a good film. And that'll be it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. Question for the episode is, did you try to buy tickets for No Way Home? And if so, were you able to get them? Let me know on Facebook. Link to the page is in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.